Have you guys seen this like super like crazy realistic like body cam style game that was made in Unreal Engine? I saw a few people talking about it on Twitter. I don't know if you guys have seen like the footage of the game. Vader, I think you posted this. Does Charlie show, does he show footage?
When it comes to gaming in the current generation and next generation as well.
Okay, I think he does.
I'm sure
yeah.
all of you have been seeing a lot of these projects that are popping up now using Unreal Engine 5 that look pretty lifelike. Very, like, if you're just looking at some of these games, you're probably under the assumption that you're watching just a video in the
Sorry to pause again, but he's just going to talk about Unrecord, right? Because there's another one that people are making, and it's so if you don't know what this is, it's almost like a game that has been rendered in like with like real footage, so it looks like an actual body cam that people would wear, like a police officer would wear, and it turns into like an FPS that has unbelievable basically likeness to real life. So it's pretty hard to distinguish between video game and real life. The camera's really good. Yeah, it's scary how fucking real it looks. But there is a horror game that's also being made too. I don't know what the name, it's like paranormal something that has like a similar concept. But this one, Unrecord, I've seen a few like other creators actually on Twitter like speak out against it and say, oh, Paranormal Tales. Yeah, that's what it is. Say that they're not comfortable with it because it just is too realistic, and think that kids should be kept away from it. I want to see this tech used for petting dogs. I know why did they always beeline straight for the most violent, like visceral shit right away? Then don't play simple as. I'll say this. I've seen a few things about the game. I don't think that games like this should be kept from being made. Fuck no, dude. I think it's a really cool artistic expression. I don't think kids should play it, okay? It's just like any other video game. I don't think it's going to make people violent. I'd say this is like super realistic. It's crazy, but it's just an advancement of technology that we have to accept. You know, we can't just like fucking say, no, we can't make something even more heightened or even more, no, because like at the end of the day, yeah, just don't fucking play it. But I think for kids, it could be something that, I don't know, maybe needs to be talked about more. Would I let my kids play this? Probably not, but I'm also not going to let my kids play like GTA if they're like fucking 8 years old, you know? But once they're in high school and stuff like that, I mean, you kind of can't keep everything away from them. Yeah, if they're like 8 years old, like, yeah, I don't want them fucking watching like Austin Powers and shit either, you know? Actually, wait, what's an appropriate age for Austin Powers? Kids confirmed. I don't have kids.
Real world.
Not yet.
It is incredible how far the technology has come for video game graphics. Now, Mudahar just made a video going over some of the projects. I'd like to show you just a clip of that.
Now, if you're looking at this and wondering, is that really gameplay? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is gameplay of a body cam footage project. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it obviously is real actual gameplay simply because you can, if you look closely at the lighting,
crazy,
the
right?
shadowing, the ambient occlusion, the way that any animation works, it's obviously not real footage. But you'd be hard-pressed, obviously, at first glance, if you watch this, you might expect to see the Live Leak logo sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. If you just showed me that video as I was scrolling through Twitter, I'd 100% think I was on.
I feel like Moist, Muda, and Pyro just all made the same videos. I guess that happens, man, in like the commentary space.
Live Leak.
Yeah, pretty much.
It really does look like you're just watching.
They all just like splice clips from each other.
Getting into a gunfight. But it's not. It is a game.
And now me.
And
yeah,
there's been quite a few projects like this that are kind of popping up all over.
I don't watch
the place
Charlie
and
too
blowing
much, but
people's
this is something I'm
Most
really
recent
curious
one is
about.
Something called Unrecord, which is another body cam FPS game that's getting a lot of hype. And of course,
Yeah,
since
this is
it's
the
the
one.
internet, everything's controversial, so it's led to a bit of a debate. It's kind of unearthed an ancient debate, kind of like opening a sarcophagus and looking at an old mummy.
It's like the Mortal
debate
Kombat
of
shit, man.
Video games being too realistic. This is something that existed back when the first Doom came out. And looking back on Doom, you're like, how could anyone ever think that this looked real? But back then, people were concerned because the graphics were innovative for their time. They were saying the game is so realistic that it's going to lead to people being violent. It's going to confuse the young, spongy.
It's that it's a
mind of
cop and body
children that
cam.
might play the game
We
and
see too many cops
distort
kill
their
people
view
already.
on reality. And that whole debate kind of got
Yeah, Mortal
sidelined over the
Kombat was
last,
like
10 or so years.
Mortal Kombat was like that first one because they used like the way that they captured the animations. It looked like real people. So like when you're pulling out someone's spine, it was like the first glimpse at like seeing real people just being fucking decimated, like all the fatalities and shit. Mortal Kombat was a huge debate back in the day. They like took it to court and shit. Like there were court cases speaking out against it. Yeah, like the mocap shit. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. You're right. I think MK was the game that started the ESRB, right? Yeah, it only exists because of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. I think the ESRB is fine. I have no problems with that.
This makes me incredibly afraid of what Orc Massage 2 will be like. Oh dear God.
Still got talked about occasionally, but usually by just out of touch archaic fossils that don't play games in the first place. But now with this new wave of graphics that are dragging us kicking and screaming into the fucking deep future of tech here, it's kind of lit a fire under the ass of that whole talk.
I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat either.
So real. Unreal
Which
Engine
is fine.
5 is mind-blowing, the capabilities of it. The lighting in particular is on a whole nother level that I didn't think would be possible.
Unreal
for
5 Metro. Wait, sorry to pause again. Unreal 5 Metro Station vid was probably first glimpse of that realism. Wait, I don't think I've seen that, man. I know Unreal 5 is fucking wild. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I like... I might sound like a boomer, but I don't even know if I want my games to look like real life, because sometimes I play games to escape real life. You know what I mean? I can appreciate the technological advancement and like the artistic, you know, the creativity that goes into like making shit like that. But I don't think realism is everything in a game. Obviously, I feel like that's not even that crazy of a take. But sometimes realism can be a little bit off-putting. I don't know, but it might get better in the future too, though. So I can't say that. Unreal 5 porn though. Well, I'm not writing that off. Depends on the game. Yeah, for sure. Unreal. Wait, is that worth looking up? The Unreal 5 Metro Station video. What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, I had a train station that I had to transfer at that looked exactly like this in Japan. Like kind of run down in like the middle of nowhere. Dude, what the fuck? It's so realistic, yeah. We don't need flesh girlfriends anymore. The future is bright. I mean, I think this is very cool. I think it's really sick. I think you can really make, you know, some really incredible games with this. It's freaky. I'm not opposed to like extreme realism in games, not at all. And as the technology progresses, I feel like it's only going to get implemented better and better. But this right now is... Oh, God. The lighting feels off. I mean, I'm sure this is just a tech demo, so I'm sure it's not perfectly crafted. It still looks good, though. Oh, God. When are they going to do it? Just get it over with. I'm preemptively volume down. Oh, my God. Oh, that was sick. That was so cool. Here, let me show you this. I saw this the other day. Look at this shit, dude.
Tarnished. Here is your weekly dose of Souls. A community mod developer was learning a new game engine and decided to port the entire Dark Souls 3 starting location into Unreal Engine 5.
Next.
It's amazing. Like Dark Souls 3 graphics aren't even that bad, but like going back in time, it looks like dog shit. Dude. It does kind of look like Demon Souls, yeah. Valley, thank you so much for 6 gifted, man. Thank you, bro. And Wobbin, thank you so much for the prime. Look at the water when he steps through.
It's not perfect, but for a concept piece it's extremely impressive, especially the water physics, improved lighting, and the background landscapes fit much better into the scene.
This is a Power Rangers Time Force level technology we're dealing with, the year 3000. So since these games are looking so real, people that aren't just out of touch old people, geriatric, senile people, are talking about it. Like people that actually engage in the medium. Real gamers are talking about concern over these games looking as real as they do for younger players and maybe being bad for their brains because it looks so real. So it's been kind of a hot topic recently, and I was going over it a bit on stream as well as talking about some of the other implementations we might see in these titles, such as like AI integration, which is something games have been doing a lot of recently.
True.
And just kind of going over what gaming could look like over the next 10 or so years, and it's fucking crazy. But real quick, I'll go ahead and boil down the main talking points so that way there's no confusion on the subject. There are people arguing that since these games look almost indistinguishable from real life footage, that it's going to lead to players being desensitized to real violence and shit like that. It's going to lead to them not being able to really separate reality.
Charlie's enjoyed best on 2X
From the fiction that they're playing when it comes to games that look this realistic. So the concern is over these games being
Wow.
so lifelike, and since you're killing people in the games and shit, when these same players see that kind of violence in the real world, they might not care as much, or
You're actually
might
not wrong.
kind of bastardize their perception of like actual.
I think
real world
1.75
horrors.
is
So that's
pretty
kind of
good,
the
actually.
argument in a nutshell. There's a lot more nuance to it, but just trying to give you like the bullet points of it. Right now the discussion is in this technology, but I'm sure as it continues to evolve and expand, it'll also branch into other genres as well that will lead to similar debates about the technology and the effect it might have on younger players and shit like that. Did you already see the unrecorded trailer? Yes, I've already seen the unrecorded trailer. It was very cool.
All right, let's just watch the trailer. Let's just watch the trailer. I feel like he's probably just gonna say, it's fine. They should keep making a game, but make sure the parents don't let the kids play the games. I feel like that's literally all you can say about
Now
this.
there's also a horror game that got announced. It all looks very nice. I am also impressed, just like everybody else.
I mean, it looks really realistic, but it's still, I don't know. If you watch it for more than like 30 seconds, it's pretty obvious it's a game.
I don't remember what it's called, but there's another one just like this. Instead of being a shooter, it's a horror game. Reminds me of the old Jurassic Park game with the insane physics. Jurassic Park Trespasser. There's a video showing it's not fake by generating in random spots and blasting everywhere. Yeah, I saw that. Who wants to play a shooter this realistic it just becomes uncomfortable? I've seen that take from a few people.
I don't think so, bro. I want to play it. I think it looks awesome.
Completely understand
I think it looks
where
sick.
that's coming from. Because this looks like actual footage. And the people you're shooting look like real people. It looks like a fucking snuff film. So I do get it. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but I understand the perspective. Reminds me of Hardcore Henry. A little bit. Didn't people say the same shit?
It doesn't look uncomfortable. It looks impossible to control, right? It looks a little bit shaky. It definitely looks a little bit shaky. I mean, listen. In my opinion, the people that don't want to play it have every right not to play it. I don't think that it should be like limited in any way. I don't think it's getting too realistic because there is a market for people that want that realism. You know. So I don't think you can get too realistic.
As things continue to evolve. But this one, it's not like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, it's like, these graphics are too realistic, and it's like fucking 3 polygons for
possible, okay, because you need a 4090 Ti.
This is
True.
Indistinguishable from real life for most people. I mean, maybe not this shot in particular, because of things like this kind of giving it away.
Oh, you disagree?
Whole,
What do you disagree? Like that? You think there's a point where games can get too realistic and that they should be stopped? That's a tough debate, man. I would argue that I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I would say as long as it's within a game, you're not actually breaking any real laws. Where do you draw the line in the sand where it's like, okay, this is too realistic. This is too much. We have to stop here. We have to stop here. We can't go any further than this. Is it like haptic suits and like you're inflicting real pain on people, or is it just like we get Unreal Engine 6 and it just is photorealistic to life? Would that be too far when you actually murder people? Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you can't murder someone. So I don't think that should be like an argument. Obviously, you're not going to kill someone in real life, okay? We all know that that's wrong. But when it comes to like a game, what is too far? What's too far? If you die in the game, you die for real. Sword Art Online. That is too far. Definitely, that's too far. Put in AI NPCs who think they're alive and real. Would you say that that's too far? I guess like sexual crimes could, yeah, some people might think that's going too far in a game. Yeah. Killing NPCs, like AI NPCs that think they're real, do you think that's too far? Torturing realistic AI. I'd say AI NPC that think they're real is too far. So you draw the line right there. That's not a bad point, actually.
I think
it's not a bad point.
5 is
I don't know,
already
man.
too realistic. I mean, Mandalorian used UE5 for their backgrounds.
Did you know that in some shows they actually use like Unreal Engine like made people for like background actors? Like sometimes there'll be people in the crowd and it's just fake, like really like not even like zoomed out, but like zoomed in pretty close, like it's very obvious. I don't know. Wait, do you guys think that if you're killing...
If you want to know going too far in videos games, off stream you should check out the game Succubus.
The game Succubus? I don't know if I've heard of that. It's probably going to be TOS though. Would you say AI NPCs, killing them is too far? Because part of me wants to just be like facts and logic and just say, no, that's not too far because it's an AI, it's not real. But I kind of see how that could like be pretty traumatizing for someone. If it's programmed, like the AI is programmed really, really well, which we're already kind of seeing that happen. You know, part of me just wants to be, no, it's not real. Doesn't matter. Who cares? But it is kind of freaky. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty freaky. Too far for who? It depends. Yeah, you can make the argument that, you know, you don't have to play it. You don't have to play it. So therefore it's you can't go too far because you don't have to play it. As long as it's legal within, you know, the law in the country that you live, you should do anything you want. You still have the choice to not virtually kill them. Yeah, true. Trying to regulate it is a waste of resources. Westworld covers this whole idea. The whole point is that you're playing a game that feels real. Maybe the argument could be made. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it could be made that because you're doing it in a video game world, totally okay. It doesn't matter. It's not real anyway. Who cares? Is it going to desensitize you and make you do it in real life? You have to be born with that sickness already in your head. Or maybe you are born with that sickness and the game pushes you over the head. Or puts it into your head and pushes you over the edge. AI can only fake sentience. It can't actually be sentient. I guess in like a distant future where you're just approaching on your slope, you're like as close as you can be to sentience. Okay, maybe it's not actually sentient, but it's so close it's almost indistinguishable for a human to distinguish between AI and human. Because I mean, eventually we might get to that level where AI is that advanced. Would you say killing an AI in a game that looks realistic is that too far? Maybe we should all just watch Westworld. Yeah, you think it is too far? No, it's not too far. No. Again, part of me wants to be like, no, it's not far. It's just a game. Who cares? Not too far. Just turn the AI on and off again. What's the one Will Smith movie? Oh, iRobot. Yeah. Killing Neurosama is bad. Other AI is fine. Based. True.
If you just saw this footage, you'd think you're watching either a movie like Hardcore Henry or...
I don't know. It's a pretty interesting debate, man.
How long until the hatred devs make something fucked up with this type of gameplay? That's something that can absolutely happen. Media outlets are definitely going to come after this game saying it makes killers. Well, they come after that for actually every game and everything ever. It's
True.
Just this one is going to be a little more controversial because it looks so realistic.
I mean, they'll scapegoat anything, man.
Be rated AO. Is that some...
Greetings from
some
Norway, fellow
perspective
people. I
around?
think
Is that
you
something I
are
was
all amazing and you
Hey,
should
thanks,
be
Dragon.
proud of who
Like,
you
when I
are.
read
Whoa,
Train's
thanks,
take in
man.
particular, I was like, it's not a bad
Daggers,
point. Like, I do
TTS limit
understand the point he's making.
change. Literally
So I was thinking, like,
1984.
would it be something that would be an adults-only game? I was like, maybe. I just don't know. Because I feel like you can't shelter people from art. The second you do that, it makes things much worse. And if someone is going to play this game and then translate it to
That's what we said, man.
real-world violence, that person had a predisposition to that kind of shit anyway and needed more parental guidance.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what we covered, right? I think we all agree about that. You can't limit art. It's just gonna make people want to do it even more. You know, we already kind of said this.
And I wouldn't really put that on the game's shoulders, really. Same way if they made a game that's super realistic and it was all about driving, I wouldn't then expect a kid to go out there and start doing like ramps off a tow truck or anything in the real world. But it is just so realistic that for a kid in particular, it will be indistinguishable from real life to them.
Yeah, okay. I mean, That's what we say, bro. You should you should limit what your kids play, obviously. But I don't think I'll say this. I don't think this game right now, how it is, I don't think it should be like regulated. Now, once we get into like the more futuristic kind of shit that we were talking about, like sentient AI and fucking torturing shit, and like games where you're just torturing an AI or doing sexual crimes to them, maybe there's a debate. But I don't know if we're there yet. Maybe there's a debate for that, but ultimately, even that, I don't know, man. Because, like, dude, you have movies like a Serbian film and all this shit where they glorify, like, torture and sexual crimes. Or not glorify, but, you know, they showcase it, right? Should those not be able to be made? I think they should be able to be made. I do. It's an expression, you know? Serbian film is illegal in a lot of places. Yeah, there's a lot of countries that make it illegal, yeah. I don't know. I just kind of think art is art. Now, I'm not saying it's good art. I'm not saying, you know, it's not saying it's going to be something I'm going to watch, but I don't know if you can you make it illegal? I don't think so, because people who like that shit are freaks. Yeah. I mean, they're dead. It's not going to be something that I'm going to sit and enjoy and watch, but can we tell people that they can't make it? I don't know, man. Because then it's like, where do you draw the line? Is there one clear line that you can't cross? That has to be established, you know, in order to make that shit illegal.
Films. How many are artistic expression and how many are just fucked up fetish shit of the director?
Yeah. No, I no, trust me, I agree. I'm not gonna watch that shit. Are you kidding me? I'm squeamish as fuck. It's not content for me. No way. But if you say that that's illegal, where do you have to, like, where can you draw the line? There has to be a clear line so that everyone can play by the rules. You know what I mean?
Man, at least
and that's just so hard.
Doesn't have this kind of heat. That would really piss me off. Hand thing gang.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate on both sides. I probably wouldn't partake in, like, if we get to a point where it's like you have to torture an AI, you can do this. I'm probably not going to partake in that, in playing that stuff. But I don't know if it should be illegal. It's fucked up. I'm not interested in it. I'm not going to play it. But could I say that it's illegal? Yeah. You know, censorship is really scary to me. Censorship is really freaky. I believe you should be able to express yourself. Now, I don't know. I've never really gone this far into, like, AI rights or, like, thinking about the realism until this kind of game came out and more like AI stuff being, you know, made. It feels like there's new AI shit every day. I don't know. Right now, I want to say that it should be legal. Make whatever fucked up game you want. It should be legal. I'm saying that right now, but maybe I'll get to a point where the game is so just utterly fucked up and gruesome and horrible, and scientists can prove that it's, you know, desensitizing kids and causing school shootings and stuff like that. Then I don't know. Legal and ethical are two different things. Definitely. I don't think, you know, like places like Steam or something like that, they have every right to not include a game. I think that's fair, but to make it illegal, I don't know, man. It's going to be in 50 years, 60 years, bro, it's going to be such a weird place. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in it's their platform. Exactly. You know, it's just like a brick and mortar store. They can sell whatever the fuck they want. And if it's too far for them, they can decide that. Yeah. I guess I'm just talking in like black and white legal, like a legal sense. I feel like the next 5 to 10 years is going to have so many crazy questions we would have to address. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is something I really didn't even think about until I saw this game come out, you know. Still the same take from like Mortal Kombat. It's up to the parents, you know, to regulate what the kids do. And if they find a game like this, it's up to the parents to make sure that they're not playing it or playing it in a responsible manner, or explain to them that it's just a game. Because I still don't believe that games are going to make a school shooter. I just don't. I think there's so many other factors that go into it. You know, a lot of issues that go into a child's life that changes them, that play into that, and I don't think video games are that. For me, there's a line where a standard shooter game is fine, but I'm out if there's a torture scenes graphic. I think that's fair, man. I think that's fair because it's your choice, bro. You don't have to go and watch Evil Dead Rises because it's too violent. You know what I mean? That's up to the consumer to decide, right? But I'm afraid if we tell developers you can't include this scene, you can't include this torture scene, or you can't include this scene that might, you know, help express the narrative because it's too realistic.
The whole illegal / censor thing. So it's okay
like
if you make a game about torturing AIs, but it should probably put you on the watch list.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, if it gets to that point, it should just like automatically put you on a checklist. That's fair. At current levels, AI isn't too advanced, but getting very close. Definitely, man. I think realism is a good thing because it makes people realize how horrible things are IRL too. Yeah, that's definitely a good thought, I guess. Can we finish the video as a fun point that comes up? Yeah.
Why would a kid play an M game? Brother, you already know the answer to that question. You played M games when you were a kid too, I bet. Once you reach like 12 years old, your parents will just get you any game or whatever. Fucking 6-year-olds are the main demographic for Call of Duty these days. That's M. I don't know the differences between a movie like Friday the 13th and a realistic looking video game. You're not controlling the movie, is the difference. But, I mean, there's probably arguments you could make for a movie that crosses a line or something as well. I'm sure that could extend there. I haven't really seen that before.
Serbian film, man.
I'm sure you could probably make a compelling argument in that
Serbian film definitely crosses whatever that line is.
Story. Not Friday the 13th, though. I don't think it'll be a big topic until these games get gory. Well, you're just wrong. It's already a big topic now, and the games aren't even existing yet. You're a little off the mark on that timeline. Your Mayan calendar needs some calibration. Wait till we get those realistic AI acting NPCs.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Yeah, you remember that story we read about how they're using AI to do like really well-written side characters in big games in order to take the load off the writers? The grunt throwaway work, they're having AI just write the lines. Imagine in a game like this, you have like the bad guys, like pleading with you, giving like really compelling stories, like, please, oh my god, the gang boss Bill, he made all these promises, and my family just really needed the money, please spare me. Like really fucking heartstring tugging shit. You just blast them with a Glock, and it just all looks so real. Oh, that'll be a wild combo. Wait till they also know all your data so they can customize their pleas based on your personality. Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah, so imagine, same scenario. You shoot the gun out of the terrorist's hands. He's like, oh god, he tries to beg for mercy. Oh, please.
All right.
Leader Cliff made all these promises.
I feel like we're just talking about all the shit we already talked about. Let's go to the next one, man. It's an interesting topic for sure, and it's something that I feel like we've kind of lived through before, and we're just kind of taking it to the next level, and it'll be interesting to see.